the Cleveland Cavaliers front office has a big decision to make if they would like to re-sign Mr. Ty Jerome as his contract ends this year, and questionable playoff performances lead to if re-signing him is even a great option. That is what we are here to talk about today. Will the front office be able to, if they decide they want to sign him, will they be able to sign him for an amount that he will accept, considering there are going to be teams that want Mr. Ty Jerome? I'm at Palange, your Cavs Digest. Thank you guys for joining me here. We're going to be talking about Mr. Ty Jerome, as I said, and if the Cavs want to sign him. But before we do that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to get all these updates, rumors, trades, literally everything here. We cover all things Cavs, and that's what we are here to do today, is talking about the free agency, specifically one man named Mr. Ty Jerome. This guy is obviously the biggest guy in question with the Cavaliers free agency due to the fact that his contract is over and there's starting to be reports that teams are interested in him. So do the Cavaliers sign Ty Jerome? Well, first of all, before we talk about if they should, let's kind of just look at who Ty Jerome is, what he's done this year. He was coming off the bench for the Cavaliers all season long, was almost one of the 6th Man of the Year winners. Came in 3rd place this year behind Peyton Pritchard and Malik Beasley. He was one of the biggest guys for the 6th Man of the Year award, and that's why, the Cavs really, really loved him, and going into the playoffs, they thought that this guy, including me, thought that this guy was going to be the X factor for them as they attempted a NBA Finals run. Obviously, we know how that went, and we know what Ty Jerome did in the playoffs, but we'll continue talking about that, so just stay tuned. But let's kind of look at what he did in the regular season before we get to the playoffs here. 12-point score, 51% from the field, 43% from three. At the age of 27, I mean, he is a 6-year veteran, but national championship winner in college for Virginia with Cavaliers, DeAndre Hunter. So they have the Virginia duo there, as well as Kyle Guy, if you remember him. But phenomenal shooter, very, very efficient, very, very close to the 50-40-90 club. If he was a little bit better from the free throw line, he would have had that 50% from the field, 40% from three, and then 90% from the free throw. He has been an absolute monster for the Cavs, at least in the regular season. We will continue talking about the playoffs here in just a second, so just stay tuned. But let's see what teams are interested in him. Let's talk about if the Cavaliers can even compete with any other team to re-sign him. Well, actually, let's first look at his contract here. I have it here somewhere. His contract, as you see, they signed him for a 2-year, $5 million contract, so he was about getting paid $2.5 million per year. So he was literally on the verge of being done, I guess is a weird way to word it, like being over and not really getting big money. That's where he was at in the league, was just signing something cheap, and that's really all we would have gotten out of him. But now it's looking a little different, it's looking, the Cavaliers took a chance on him, and he really, really proved himself. This year, he was phenomenal. If you guys remember the game against the Pelicans where he went nuclear, and I'm pretty sure it was November, he went nuclear that game. That's what really got Cavs fans thinking, we have a star defensive piece. So now it comes to the decision, did he earn his contract? Well, some teams are talking about $100 million, and some teams are talking about $80 million. I don't think any guy that averages... let's go to the stats again. The average is this much is worth as much people think Ty Jerome is going to get. It was the Miami Heat game 1 that really got people thinking, and I'll show his playoff stats here in a second. But it was the Miami game 1 that really got people thinking about Ty Jerome. Is this guy a $30 million player? Should the Cavs sign him to a $40 million 2-year deal? How much is Ty Jerome worth? Well, I think he proved himself in the regular season. I think he proved himself in game 1 against the Heat. But then it came down to the rest of the season, and that's what we're going to be talking about now. So the teams that are interested in him as of right now are the Pistons, and then we have the Nuggets as well. But there are more reports that there are other teams that can go out and get him. This is from Cleveland.com, Chris Fetter. If the 27-year-old Jerome is looking for more money, it would have to come from a team with the estimated practical salary cap space. There aren't many of those: Brooklyn, Detroit, Memphis, and Chicago. So though Denver would have to clear up cap space to get him, but I'm pretty sure they would be willing to, considering that Mr. Russell Westbrook is in trade talks, and they're willing to get rid of minor guys. And there's some guys in the starting lineup of Denver that I know are willing to, that the Nuggets might be willing to get rid of and replace with Ty Jerome. So there is a chance that Ty Jerome, here's Chris Fetter again, Ty Jerome lands up in Denver, but we do not know right now. So this is the big question of why the Cavs are now debating if they should get Ty Jerome. It's because of the playoff stats, specifically the Pacers series. 1-for-14 game, a 1-for-8 game, back-to-back days, and then of course 2 shots, but he only played, and then his minutes just took a big decrease. That 1-for-14 game in game 2 against the Pacers was just abnormal, and even 8-for-20 is not great either. But that 1-for-14, if you see it, if you look from bottom to top, it's the second game for the Pacers. 28 minutes, 2 points, 1 for 14. That is disgusting. And that game right there is why Ty Jerome might not get paid the bag like he could deserve based off his regular season play. The floater specialist is what we called him. He was one of the most creative, top 10 in floater percentages, top 10 in floater percentage attempts. He was just there. He was just cooking with the floaters all season long. That's what he did best. He's always trying to find a way to get a floater to go. Phenomenal at it. And then in the playoffs, if you remember, in Game 5, the game that the Cavaliers got eliminated, Ty Jerome actually didn't play until the third quarter, came in, hit 2 threes, had a big floater as well, I believe. I think he had around 8 points in that game, but he had he had 8 points. He didn't play until the third quarter. He was basically getting punished. He wasn't proving himself as a consistent player, getting high-volume minutes against them in the Pacers series. So they said, you know what? Kenny Atkinson benched him and then decided to play Ty Jerome a lot of minutes, decided to not play Ty Jerome a lot of minutes, put him in the third quarter because the Cavs were struggling. He came in, hit 2 big threes. So now that game might have given us more confidence to want to re-sign this guy. How much is he worth? How much can they even afford to pay this man? I mean, that's what raises the question. Because if a team, from my perspective personally, I think if a team offers Ty Jerome like a, let's say 2 years, $15 million a year, that is so unrealistic. Nowadays in the NBA people spend like that, but that is so unrealistic for the Cavs to be able to get him. And obviously Sam Merrill, who is also another guy that's free agent that the Cavs must look into. But this is a guy that came top 3 and 6 man of the year, proved himself in plenty of games. If you look at Miami Heat, the Game 1 game, that game was just absurd. 5 for 8 from 3, 10 for 15 from the field, 28 points. It's Ty Jerome's world we're all just living in. If you guys remember that amazing Instagram post from the Cleveland Cavaliers, if you've seen it, you've seen it. If you know, you know. But Ty Jerome is a certified bucket getter. It just came out of the Pacers series where, the biggest problem is the Cavs cannot perform in the playoffs. And is it worth re-signing a guy that can't put up points in the playoffs? So that's why it's a tough decision. Even me, I don't know if we should re-sign Ty Jerome. Me personally, I really think, just based off the stats alone, I really think we should. It depends how much you can get him for. You originally got him for $5 million, $2.5 million each year. His contract's now over. You have to re-sign him. I think he's worth more than $2.5 million a year. He might be upwards of the $10 million side, and maybe $8 million, $9 million, $10 million, maybe more than that. I don't know. I'm not a thank the Lord I'm not a GM because I don't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do with this guy, and that's where I'm at. Is I feel like there are more teams that are willing to take a risk on Ty Jerome than the Cavs should be because the Cavs are in a spot where they are the best team in the Eastern Conference record-wise, but they cannot pull out a finals appearance. So it is so weird to think about, specifically, the Cavs, if they can re-sign Ty Jerome and if it's worth it because of how bad they've been in the playoffs. And do you want to get a guy? Do you want to get a guy that's this bad in the playoffs? Is it even worth it at all to go ahead and get a guy that's bad in the playoffs for when the Denver is going to offer him $15 million a year? That's the question today. Should the Cavs go get Ty Jerome? It's really, really hard for me. I lean yes, but I actually am pretty sure they should get Ty Jerome back. It just depends on the price, and that's what matters the most. So if they can get him for a reasonable deal, go ahead and get Ty Jerome. But that is it for me today. Thank you guys for being my Cavs Digest. I'm at Palange. Drop a comment and talk to me about how you feel about Ty Jerome and hit that subscribe.